808 hits the brass, cut the air. This is the soundtrack for those who dare to question their narrative, to break the mold. A story of awakening, brave and bold reality.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about changing the narrative, so to speak, changing the weight of the word. So let's say snitching now gets changed to something new, civic duty. Mm-hmm. How does the community look when people take pride in performing their civic duty? How does that look? How do you think that impacts our community?
I personally think it's going to stay the same, because I just believe certain people.
You have a white canvas. Hold on, Doc. You got a white canvas. We want to know how. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Tell us how.
Let's
we
paint
don't
a whole
want to know
new
how
picture.
it was. You got a white canvas. Go ahead and make it.
That would be a beautiful world to live in. But I still believe the reality, because you said reality or illusion. The illusion is believing that will change things, because I'm gonna be my brother's keeper at all costs. I'm not saying me, but some people are gonna think that way. I'm not telling on them.
Did you ever believe same-sex marriage would be legal?
I didn't think it would be legal. I figured it would be
so
an
again,
illusion.
There you go. But the only
somebody, well, I'm saying
exactly.
to somebody, they you know how they say you've been together so long, it's common law marriage. So to somebody else, they marry.
My point is, we just seen a lot of things change in our society that we would have never thought it would change.
Absolutely.
And the only way it's going to change is when we're intentional about things. So,
Yes.
but if we all sit back and say, hey, that's how it always been, it ain't going to change, it's not going to change.
Yeah, and I get that, but I just still believe that two people committing a crime together, I still think the whole snitching mentality is going to stay the same. Or the fear that's there. There's a real fear for some people. They not telling because they're afraid you're going to retaliate and you're going to hurt my parent or my kid or whatever. I just believe that's the world we live in.
I would love for you to share why your mindset reflects like that, like the disbelief in that our community can change. Like what makes you go there?
Because I am a realistic thinker. And the reason why some people haven't snitched today is going to be the reality of the reason why they won't snitch tomorrow. I don't care what you call it. You can call it a civil duty. But some people are not going to feel comfortable. And I can give you a true story, not to throw anybody under a bus, but I do know a young lady who claimed she was abused by her father. But the truth is, because you know the truth from other reasons, because there's some good snitches out there that tell you stuff and you find out it's true. This is one of the things she does if she want to get her way. And so I'm saying, long story short, if the real person didn't step forward and say something, you just would have believed this young innocent girl.
So you bring up a good point.
But I'm saying, but at the end of the day, maybe those things had happened to her before.
So you bring up a good point. Let's expound on that. Mm-hmm. Right. We have seen, especially in recent history, a lot of our people wrongfully incarcerated.
Yes.
Because people did not step up and say the right thing or do the right thing.
Absolutely.
Right. However, we have also seen it reverse because people have stepped up. Mm-hmm. More people have stepped up. Also, when you look at let's look at two different elements: the criminal element and the civil element. The criminal element, they're going to have their own rules because they're protecting themselves from being incarcerated,
right,
or killed, or whatever the case may be. But they still tell on each other every day. They commit crimes and tell on each other you know
locked up. You
know the drug dealers has been locked up 15 times for selling drugs and never did no prison time.
Yes,
go to jail and get out the next day. You know the guys is like that. I mean, come on now. It's not
keeping it real.
It's not because they can talk their way out of a wet paper bag. It's because they telling some information
to save themselves.
But they hold a person who's civically minded to a different standard. because they tell on each other all the time. And guess what? They go back and hang out with each other all day long. They go to prison and hang out with each other, even though they know they told on each other.
Wow.
They give you those fairy tales that when you get to prison, if you a snitch, you're going to get dealt with.
Correct.
There are millionaires who went to prison, gang-related, hood-related people, got out and got more famous when they found out that they actually were snitches.
Frank Lewis, the biggest snitch you know. How about that?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
You know, Frank Lucas. So, hey, whatever you want to say. Yeah. But, hey, I'm back to you said, hey, a couple of good snitches told you. But you the main person talking about what ain't going to happen. But the good snitches is the one that told you the truth.
And I had to be careful because it was in the school system, and I didn't want to say too much
You
and then
ain't
it get out.
giving no names, but the fact that I'm just saying, you said good snitches when you done just told us that you
the
was
reason
a good
I
snitcher.
say that, the reason I say that is because somebody that knew it wasn't true.
Okay,
said
but you're
something.
missing my point. The point is, your argument is you said snitching is going to be
No,
there.
I
It ain't
said
going to
I think
change.
and that's my point. I don't think it's going to change, no matter what you call it.
But
So even if you say that was her civil duty, so in other words, the young lady stood up for the father because she knew the father.
They stood up for right.
And,
They knew
and
what
she
was
stood
right.
up for right. But at the same time, I'm saying I still believe snitching or whatever you call it.
So that was an anomaly.
Other people is still gonna say so and so you snitched.
Yes, they will. But
No matter what, they still gonna call it snitching.
So the point
snitched.
is that now we have to take that power away. Right? We take the power,
I
that
love
negative
that.
power
Yeah,
away
that's
from that.
exactly it.
Because
Right.
we're
Point.
saying, okay, that's okay. And the community they start saying, oh, she's a snitch. The community say, that's okay.
That's okay.
She did the right thing, and we support her.
So even
now
when she
we
get
change
beat
it.
up behind closed doors,
Then we step up and we find out who beat her up.
but
and we
nobody
change
stepped
it.
up.
But-
Nobody stepped up.
Yeah. They
The
didn't, but
reality
we
is
can.
nobody stepped up.
But
And see,
but we're
that's
saying,
what we're
can
talking
we?
about right there.
And that's what I'm saying. This is a true story I'm talking about. The reality is nobody stepped up. She felt bullied and bullied and bullied.
But unfortunately, that could be one situation because I can tell you scenarios where the snitch did say something, the person did tell. We're going to take away the snitching,
There we
right?
go.
Let's take the negative connotation
Right,
out.
okay.
The person did tell,
civil
do the right
duty.
thing, and then when they were approached for it, other people who
Stepped up for.
were actually in the wrong in the community, were negative in the community, stood up for that person because they did the right thing. It's because I think we have to divide the civil from the criminal element. We've given more power to the criminal element than the civil element, and that's the reason why some people find it hard to tell or do their civic duty. We need to give the power back to the civil, and we do that by consciously staying together, consciously making that decision. Now, I'm saying if the criminals want to be criminals, then they deal with what happens. If you're a criminal and you do a crime and you go tell on somebody else because you did a crime and you got caught, you snitching.
Right.
And if the community bash you for that and beat you up for it, that's on you because you're in that criminal element. But anybody who is innocent of that criminal element and decide to do the right thing, we as a whole have to say, no, they're right and stand behind them.
Yeah.
And stand beside
In a beautiful
them.
world.
And I think
yeah.
two
We gotta
ways.
make the world
I think
Yes.
from the community, but then also the law.
The law, yes.
I think some things need to be changed over there, meant to actually protect people's privacy, to keep them private as much as possible. Because when you snitch, then it goes to court, then you summons into court, you got to go to the bench. Fear factor, putting the fear back on the person. So, but me personally, I believe it can happen because as we talk tonight, when you talk about not telling, leave the word snitch out of it. When you don't report a crime or violence or whatever it is, the damage continues on.
Yes.
And when you begin to shift anything in life, man, it's uncomfortable. Like we as a community, as a people have been put in a space of so much negativity, so many things that just don't seem right. It's immoral, man, for us to exist in the space that we do today. Like so many moving pieces, but stagnation. You know what I mean? We stand in pride to not report the crime when you know, right? But we stand in pride, chest poked out.
Yes.
I deal with it myself. Man, there has to be a shift in us as a people. And I think as we have these conversations, it's all about encouragement, right? So for us to be a voice of reasoning, but not trying to dictate, but to just, man, think about it, process it. How do you overcome that fear? How do you build the support system that you need? You know what I mean? To be able to tell it with confidence, but then surround yourself with what you need to be protected at the same time. So I think there could be so much to be done to get to the point where we change that narrative. So snitching has become a fad. That terminology, snitches get stitches.
Yes.
Fear.
Fear.
It's all centered around fear, man. Why is not happening the other way? Like these young kids that's doing these killings, man, they live no life.
Exactly.
They're young, bro. What are they so angry about? Like,
And most of the time it's because they're retaliating. It could start out as small as a bump. I bumped into JJ. JJ took it the wrong way. He said something crazy to me. He got on social media, started talking crazy. So now I got to respond to JJ when I see him. Now I respond to JJ, we get into a fight. I get the better of JJ. He don't like that. So he got to come back with something, do something. He may hit me with a bat. I don't like that. I'm going to come back and stab him with a knife. He doesn't like that. He's going to come back with a gun. He shoot me. Now my friends see he done shot me. Maybe I'm dead.
That's it.
So now they got to respond. So they're going to catch JJ and shoot him. He's got family. They're going to respond. So it's a vicious circle that we promote by saying that it is wrong to do your civic duty. Right? It could have been stopped at any point in time. If one of us would have been civil. I bumped JJ or he bumped me and I said, oh man, my bad, excuse me.
And with all due respect, that analogy you just gave, you had a whole bunch of levels in there. Nowadays, the bump goes straight to the bullet.
Exactly.
That's right.
All them levels and just cut
That's
out. There is no
right.
escalation.
JJ, do it again and go to the what?
and so going back to the reality
that's
or
the
an
sad part about it.
illusion, I love it that I have 3 men sitting here on this panel that believe we live in a world in 5 years from now, I was going to say 10, but 5 years from now, we could live in a world where you could just snitch and don't call it snitch, but call it doing your civil duty, and everybody's going to be okay. It's okay.
No, everybody's not going to be okay.
I'm just
with
saying,
it.
Nobody's ever going to be okay with nothing in this world.
but I got a good squad behind me that's supporting me, saying it's okay. V,
Correct.
you told on them. Yes, they know where you live. They know what you drive. They know your moves. But we got you, and I'm supposed to not have fear and believe in the greater good.
Well,
yes, I do. I do.
See, Doc B coming for us being sarcastic with all
I'm
that
saying
stuff
I
right
do.
there.
But I'm saying, where y'all going to be at when I need y'all? Y'all going to be busy
I'll
doing
tell
what
you
y'all
the reality
do.
in 5 years where we'll be at. AI is so sophisticated.
Okay.
If they don't shift on their own, technology will catch up like it's done with everything else in life. And technology will cause the shift.
That's what I was going to say. So I'm going to put my trust in. Am I going to put my trust in my brother being my keeper, or am I going to put my trust in technology and AI?
It sounds like Doc B said she ain't trusting us.
I'm trying to be real now. I'm trying to be realistic.
Okay, realistic though. Look, I've heard this picture you didn't paint it. You even brought up a situation where we got somebody that didn't commit a crime that's going to go to jail, and people know they didn't. I can't snitch. I'm gonna walk around. I get a badge of courage, and everything that you're talking about. I'm gonna send somebody away for life because I'm not gonna open my mouth because I know they didn't do it, but I can't say nothing. Think about what you're saying. What kind of moral
remember, I
obligation
did say
is that?
she did
No,
say
I'm
something.
not. I'm taking you, like you said.
A different
just any situation. Somebody witnesses somebody not do something. They know who did it, but I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna watch an innocent person.
They do it
get
all
locked
the
up.
time.
Exactly. You cool with it though? That's the question.
No.
You sitting up here. You said no.
Cool with it.
You said yes. You are.
No, I didn't say I'm cool with it.
You so right.
I'm not saying I'm cool with it.
I think she's on the other side of the fence.
No, I'm saying that this exactly. But it's not me. I'm saying people out there are gonna still be in fear.
Are you telling?
Will I tell?
Yeah, would you tell?
It depends on the consequences.
My question for you: if somebody, your family,
how do you know the consequences?
If somebody,
that's what I'm saying. It depends on the situation. Okay, here you go. Here you go. I wrote this down. So if you can give me this to say this: real situations differ by harm, duty, consent, and consequences. You cannot ignore the differences in severity. So a minor mistake versus a ongoing act of crime or fraud. Okay. There's a difference in that.
So let's give you a scenario, right? you live in a neighborhood and you got this beautiful 80-year-old woman live next door to you. Mm-hmm. And 2 young men run up in her house and rob her and beat her. Mm-hmm. And you see them. Mm-hmm. Do you tell?
Do I have to give my name?
Oh my Lord!
Let's make this even more personal.
But no. I'm trying to. I'm painting a picture. Wait, y'all. I'm painting a picture because we saying if the world changed and things are different. So in this different world,
you gave you real life scenario.
Okay, so today I saw this,
and that old lady
happened.
Was your auntie. What if that was your auntie and you saw?
And she don't even have to be my auntie. Yeah, morally, I feel like I need to tell.
Okay.
You would tell.
Yes.
You would tell.
Okay.
So
some type of way, anonymously. I'm telling.
You see somebody kill me, you gonna
somebody
tell?
kill Jay. I'm anonymously though.
Okay.
I feel
so
a little
everything
better.
you throwing up in it was just when you because again you said across everything that you didn't believe in snitching. You feared for your life, and that was he brought it back.
Because I'm trying to work my notes.
I wanted to ask you.
I did a lot of research, and it says that a lot of people.
We live in real life,
but you see what I'm saying? It says a lot of people don't tell because
we
of
get
fear.
it. We get that.
Yes.
So somebody got to pull the notes off the paper.
Yeah, I get that, and I understand that, but I think that a lot of times that is the illusion in the reality that they tell us that a lot of people don't tell. Because I think a lot of people do tell. I think they emphasize certain scenarios where there is high criminal activity, like say cartel action or some major organized crime, and they take the outcome of those situations and imprint them on us to keep us from doing the right thing. When on the average, everyday thing, most times even in the community, if there's an act of violence in the community and someone tells, most of the time there's not going to be major retaliation. There's occasions where there will be. And that's because social media and media and the news and movies has sensationalized it and made it okay for people to think that they can retaliate. But if the reality becomes, if you do wrong to people who are not doing wrong, somebody's going to tell on you. I think it will change the mentality of people. And I don't think it's a 5-year thing. I think it's 5 year, it could begin to change it. But I normally see generations that it takes to change that type of thinking, because it took generations to get to this. If you go back, and when I grew up, I'm 52 years old. When I grew up, there was a lot of snitching going on. If I was young and I did something wrong, an adult saw me do something wrong, they would whoop my butt right there. They would take me home and snitch on me. And then I would probably get 2 whoopings, one for whatever I did, and the other because I got embarrassed my mama because I did something I ain't had no business doing. So they were snitching.
Like they weren't snitching, they was doing their civic duty and whipping that ass. That's what they was doing. That's how it was.
So it took generations to start changing that, right? And it started with the criminal element, because the criminals were saying, "Oh, that's just snitching. You better not snitch. We're going to come to you." And then the movie starts sensationalizing, because every movie, all the gangster movies, all of that, when somebody snitched, snitches got snitched, or they sent somebody out to shoot the house up. Like, those were things that happened very rarely that they sensationalized to make you think it was happening every time. And it wasn't. Okay. It wasn't. If it was happening every time, we would not have the largest prison population in the world. It was happening every time.
If people were snitching on each other?
If they weren't.
Yeah.
So we getting cues, man, to because we're going. But man, I like to do is to do 2 things before we walk out. And one would be, man, like, how do we get here? And then the other thing would be, how do we get away from here?
Yes.
So we can address just those 2 things. One, how do we land right here where snitches get stitches? That theme, right?
How did we get rid of it?
How did we get here?
How did
we land in that fact where that was so powerful that the fear factor took the good people out of the picture and then bolded the bad people? And then how do we...
You trying to go all the way back to slavery when they...
Well, just a short version.
But so you see what I'm saying? Because, you said, how did it?
I think it take the neighborhoods, because in reality, we could say it's sensationalized, but the reality, again, you look at Fort Wayne, Southeast Side is a small community. People are, it is real. I could be living next to my neighbor, Hey, I'd have told on you, but I got to go. I'm living next to his brother, his sister, his uncle around the corner. It's a reality. So, but I agree with the sensibilization. But again, on that same token, just in our community, folks think that, I mean, I ain't gonna say they think, it is. To V's point, Doc V's point, some folks that took some butt whoopings, some folks have been some intimidation going on, all that. But you do the same thing out in other communities. They ain't got the same mentality, and the boys is coming in, and you get witnesses, eyewitness testimony, and everything else. They tell it. They tell it. But in certain communities, and again around the country, in these disenfranchised neighborhoods, the criminals are ruling because of that intimidation factor.
So I think we got here because we allowed elements of crime to start dictating what was morally acceptable. And we changed what morally acceptable was. Morally acceptable was what your conscience said was the right thing to do. Whether you believe in whatever you believe in, what your conscience said was the right thing to do. We started saying your moral obligation was your reputation. And then we start saying, if you snitch, you lose your reputation. And I think that's why we are at where we're at now, because the real morals were taken away and your ego, your selfishness was put in front. Do you want to deal with the consequences? Not even if there's violent consequences, just the reputation of being labeled a snitch. And the more you put that pressure on people, the more it allow that snitching to have weight. And the more weight it has, the more it impacts the community. And the more it impacts the community, it just continues to snowball. So that's how we got here.
Yeah, honestly though, I don't think that we talking about, we keep saying weight of snitching and being labeled a snitch, but you already said it. There's guys going in and out of jail, coming, navigating, there's nothing said. I think it all comes back to that fear factor. Am I protected? What are the consequences? And there's levels to whatever you done witnessed of how people gonna come at you. But again, if you talking minor offenses, drug offenses, guys down there singing, and they moving, navigating around the community, ain't nobody really paying no attention. The only time you paying attention if somebody, a violent crime, and you can send somebody away for a long time. Now people coming and they feel, hey, the stakes are higher. You gonna tell, that means the retaliation might be a little bit higher.
That's it. That's why I was saying. So the limited and conditional, I mean, nothing's absolute about any of it. It's still going to go back to what I said. It's going to depend on the content, the situation, the consequences. It's going to weigh it out. Is this a big deal? Just because Jay, he is the person that put the dirt on the white carpet, do I need to actually go tell that it was Jay? Is it that big of a deal? Versus Jay is... Excuse me, Jay, I got to say this one. But Jay is stealing and embezzling money and got us all in trouble here.
Why couldn't have put blood on the red carpet? I mean, on the white carpet.
I'm just saying it depends on the situation and the weight of
the guy
it.
in the banking business.
That's all I'm talking about. I think it's going to boil down to that. It depends.
Now, I see that dry snitch you just
did.
He dry snitching down there. Yeah, you see it. Yeah.
I mean, think about the last time you was dry snitching. You've been doing it. We do it. It's easy to do. And so you don't really look at it as you dry snitching, but you like, well, it couldn't have been James because he had already left. Phil was gone. Wasn't nobody left in there but Jay. Now that's just dry snitching. We done told everybody Jay did it. Yeah. But so I'm saying, I think at the end of the day, when y'all want to paint the perfect world, I want to paint it too. I want to be in that world. I want to live in a place where snitching is not negative and snitches no longer get stitches. But I'm just being the realist saying, I don't think that's going to ever happen.
Well, unfortunately, I would say I can remember a time when my grandmother didn't believe that there would be a black president. And
I would love for you to prove me wrong in this situation.
I go to
People, public.
I think we have the power.
Yeah.
I think we
Let's do it.
We have the power.
Let's do it. Let's change it. Snitching is okay. It's no longer called snitching. It's your
civic duty.
Your civic duty. It's your responsibility
That's
to tell
a
the truth.
beautiful conversation to have,
Yes.
walking it out. Civic duty, accountability.
I love
Accountability.
it.
Yeah.
Encouraged, being encouraged.
Yes.
Encouraged enough to having the courage
Yeah.
to do it when you're in that predicament. Like,
That's it. Our version is see something, say something. Shit.
I
yeah,
love it. I just want to roll with y'all three.
See something, say
Because I know
something.
y'all gonna tell it.
yeah. See something, say
happening.
something. I agree with JJ, man. See something, say
see something,
something.
say something.
See something, say something. I agree
I
with
see
that.
somebody in the building saying they're gonna walk out, and they said they ain't telling.
Walking the plank.
He said, "Walking the plank."
It's a beautiful thing. It's
Yes.
a beautiful thing that we can have these conversations and challenge what we think is what's real and what actually is probably an illusion. And by challenging those things, we can start to change the mentality and the thinking of everybody around us and the generations to come. Like you said, Urban Dictionary probably did a great thing by redefining that and clearly saying,
It's a message, man.
if you are doing something, a crime, and you tell to save yourself, that's a snitch. But if you are not doing a crime and you tell, you're doing your civic duty. So defining that way helps make it a little easier. I'm not saying it's going to be perfectly easy, and it's going to take baby steps to get back to the leaps and bounds we need. But we got to start taking the baby steps.
Yeah.
And we got to make it okay for everybody to take
Work
the baby
towards it.
step. We got to work towards it.
Yeah.
Dude, we talking about like there's those steps been taken. Every mafia movie we got is why the mafia broke down because people was snitching. For all them years, nobody said a word. They was ironclad. Then what? People start snitching. I already joked about Frank Lucas. Frank Lucas again made all that money, kept told on everybody from other criminals to the police snitching. It's being done now.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, it don't have that connotation. I mean, our society done changed. You think about back in the day, mugs walking around and use the term fag like it wasn't nothing, did you? You know, hey now, that's. I mean, we played a game called Spirit of Queer, right? All this stuff, man. You don't use that, kids. What the kids used to say, man.
Yeah, you got a good point.
Hey, as long as y'all don't put this stuff on, hey, don't be putting them texts up. The other thing, kids, what'd you say? Oh, that's gay. That's gay. Everything. Now they know they don't say that. So for you to think this stuff ain't gonna change, I watch what's going on. I'm telling you, it's all about just wherever you want to start it. Mud's gonna pick up, and it's gonna be a thing of the past.
Yeah.
And can't believe that we used to think like that.
There's always a time
That'd
for a
be
shift.
great.
As we walk it out, man, can we end with a poll? Like, can it change? Is that a reality
Yes.
or an illusion?
I think we need to end each one with the poll.
Yeah. So in my, I truly believe, man, that it's a reality that we as a community can change and shift from honoring snitching.
What about you, V?
Oh,
V?
and I truly pray to God that our community, that our world could shift from looking at snitching as being a negative.
But do you think it can?
Do I think it
We need a
can?
yes
I'm
or no.
hopeful.
Without the politics.
I'm
Yeah.
hopeful.
It's reality
Can I
or
be
illusion for
hopeful?
you?
You got to choose.
There's
Either
somebody
you
out
think
there
it can
hopeful.
or it
I'm on
can't.
their side.
But we're doing a poll, reality or illusion?
There's a possibility. Anything is possible with God. Who
Boy, you are sticking
strengthens
to
me.
it. You are sticking to it.
God's strength is all
JJ,
possible.
what you think? Is it a reality or illusion? Can we change the definition and the impact of the word snitching?
I think it's a reality. I believe in our people. I believe in society. I mean, again, once you out there, you look at how things go, something has to change. I see too many mothers, too many family members that are crying, that are upset. You see somebody get something happen to somebody at a party or where there's multiple witnesses and nobody sees something. That's a problem. That's an issue. But like I said, I'm encouraged by what I see throughout the society that this is headed in the right direction. It's a reality.
I think it's a reality that we can change. And I think we can change things by taking the steps necessary. As you said, their AI is going to catch up with us. And there's cameras everywhere now. And cameras can catch everything. And I think if morally, a moral obligation, a civil obligation, if we take it upon ourselves to start changing these things slowly, we can. The legal system needs to be involved to help change that. I think the legal system can take the statement of someone who's seen it, but then use the evidence that they have to do the conviction. I think if we take the time to say we as a people can morally stand on the ground, that we say if you're wrong, you're not going to get away with it. The more we do that, the more we can do the right thing, the more it will change. So the reality is, yes, we can change it. It's just going to take time and concentrated effort on not only your part as an individual or a civil person in the community, but the legal system and the whole of the community together.
Love it. Beautiful words.
D-Day the way hits the brass, smoke the air. This is the soundtrack for those who dare to question their narrative, to break the mold. A story of awakening.